what we would like to do is we'll discuss a couple of things. There's not much of an explanation as such, but discuss a few things. And then if there are any questions and answers, we would like to take them into, answer those questions. Let me just share my screen first. Right. Now, the first thing that we have to discuss, मैं हिंदी में भी explain करूँगा. बट इन केस अगर किसी को समझ में नहीं आए तो आप सवाल भी पूछ सकते हैं ऑब्वियसली. इंग्लिश में फिर से हिंदी में एक्सप्लेन करूंगा. लेट मी जस्ट फिनिश क्विकली विथ इंग्लिश. The first thing that we wanted to talk about was the new regulations by SEBI, which now mandates all algo executions to have static IP addresses. Now, to be honest, this mandate, this circular was there that all IP addresses had to be captured. Static IP itself, I don't know, in what shape was implemented, but I know there are brokers like Zerodha had always taken IP addresses dynamically, but now they are mandating us to provide a static IP through which they can execute. The trades are essentially are going to get executed. Given that these trades are getting executed with Algo Mojo and Quantuman, these platforms, we have reached out to them and they say that they are already, some of them they say that they are already in sync with the new circular, but some of them are saying that they are working out a way to, I think Algo Mojo has said that in a day or two they will update on how they are addressing the issue with the new circular. So I request you, whichever platform you're using, Algo Mojo, Quantuman, do reach out to them, ask them what happens April 1st. How will their orders get executed on April 1st onwards, or will their orders stop after April 1st? We need that clarification. So we strongly recommend that you reach out to each bridge tomorrow in the daytime, if you have time. We ourselves, we have reached out to them, asked the same questions, and the answer was, I think Quantuman, Algo Mojo, they both said that we are more or less in compliance. Exactly how they are going to do it, we don't know yet. But again, like I said, if the more details we get, we will share it with you. But in the meanwhile, we suggest you reach out to them, because you're all taking subscriptions. We suggest that you reach out to them and ask them the same question as well. Right now, last week, we have released 2 new versions of the algo. Right, the first one was Nifty momentum buy. We have 1.2. Now we have 1.3. Now the difference between 1.2 and 1.3 is, if you see the drawdown towards the post January, right? In 1.3, the drawdown is a little contained. So you understand that this is a little contained. This drawdown is not too much. The only difference between 1.2 and 1.3 of momentum buy strategy. Hello. Dipali ji, I had to mute your mic. Right. So the only difference between 1.2 and 1.3 is entry price cap. Right. You all know that we always said in 1.2 we did not include it, but we said it is best to take the maximum entry prices 350 for ITM4. This is something that we constantly mentioned it. Now in the new 1.3, the difference is it DT2 plus, which is your Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all 3 days. It will be DT2 plus. It will 350 is the limit. DT1, which is Monday, it will limit at 250, which was today, for example. DT0 is 210. So tomorrow, if the price of ITM4 doesn't go below 210 for both call and put, it will filter out those trades. It will not execute any trades. That is the only difference between version 1.2 and 1.3. The reason we have done this is to ensure that on extreme volatility day, massive gap ups and gap downs, we stay out instead of taking the risk with high premiums and volatility. We just wanted to cut out those trades, and that is the reason why we have given DT0, DT1 and DT2. That is the only difference between momentum by 1.2 and 1.3. Now I'll quickly explain this in Hindi. 2 minute हिंदी में explain कर दूंगा आपको. सबसे पहले तो सेबी के न्यू रेगुलेशंस के हिसाब से एक स्टैटिक आईपी जरूरी है। ये स्टैटिक आईपी अगर आप डायरेक्टली ट्रेड कर रहे हो तो आपको स्टैटिक आईपी आपके सर्वर से मिलता है। जैसे एडब्ल्यूएस में अगर आप कर रहे हो तो एडब्ल्यूएस सर्वर से मिलता है, एटसेट्रा एटसेट्रा। लेकिन क्योंकि ये सारे ट्रेड्स ब्रिज के थ्रू जा रहे हैं, जैसे अल्गोमो जो है, क्वांटमैन है, इनके थ्रू जा रहे हैं, तो ये लोग आईपी एड्रेसेस ये खुद ही प्रोवाइड करते हैं और इन्हीं को वो आईपी एड्रेसेस देना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि एंड ऑफ द डे ऑर्डर उनके थ्रू एग्जीक्यूट हो रहा है। तो हमने अल्गोमोजा और क्वांटमैन से बात की, उन्होंने उनसे पूछा कि किस तरह से वो इस रेगुलेशंस के साथ जूझ रहे हैं, फिर कैसे काम कर रहे हैं। तो उन्होंने कहा कि वो ऑलरेडी, उनमें से कुछ ने कहा कि वो ऑलरेडी इस रेगुलेशंस के दायरे में हैं, वो ऑलरेडी इसके साथ ही मतलब इसके इंक्लूड करके चल रहे हैं। लेकिन शायद अल्गोमोजो ने हमसे कहा है कि 1-2 दिन में वो और ज्यादा डिटेल्स सब पब्लिश कर देंगे। बहुत सारे डिटेल्स तो हमें नहीं पता है, लेकिन हम लोग आप सबको रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे कि आप एक बार अल्गोमोजो और क्वांटमैन और जो भी आपका अल्गो टेस्ट हो या फिर जो भी आपका प्लेटफॉर्म है, इन सारे प्लेटफॉर्म को आप एक बार कल दिन में मैसेज कीजिएगा और पूछिएगा कि कैसे अप्रैल 1 के बाद में कैसे ये स्टैटिक आईपी का इशू वो लोग हैंडल कर रहे हैं और किस तरह से ऑर्डर एग्जीक्यूट होंगे। हम लोग भी पूछेंगे और जैसे ज्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन हमको मिलेगा वैसे हम आपको वो इन्फॉर्मेशन हम लोग पास ऑन करते रहेंगे। बट हम लोग भी रेकमेंड करेंगे कि आप भी एक बार उनसे बात कर लीजिएगा। अब वो रहा सेबी का गाइडलाइंस। किसी को भी ज्यादा इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं है, टू बी ऑनेस्ट, जो भी ब्रिज के साथ में काम कर रहे हैं अभी थोड़ा सा ये क्लैरिटी बहुत ज्यादा नहीं है। लेकिन आई थिंक अप्रैल 1 तक सारे प्लेटफॉर्म्स किसी न किसी तरह इसको अपडेट कर ही देंगे। इंपॉर्टेंट ये है कि हम उनसे बात करते रहें, एक बार मैसेज करते रहें उन लोगों से। अब दूसरा, हमने पिछले हफ्ते मोमेंटम बाय और मोमेंटम सेल के 1.3 एक नया वर्जन हमने लॉन्च किया है। जैसे यहाँ पर अब आल्गो पेज में जब आते हैं, मोमेंटम बाय स्ट्रेटेजी का 1.2 आपने देखा है ऑलरेडी, ये आप सबको पता है। हमने यहाँ पर 1.3 इंट्रोड्यूस किया है और 1.3 का डिफरेंस ये है कि ये जो ड्रॉडाउन है, जो सबसे ज्यादा ड्रॉडाउन हमको आया था, वो ड्रॉडाउन थोड़ा कंटेन्ड है। वो इतना ज्यादा बुरी तरह से नहीं होता है 1.3 में जितना बुरी तरह से हमको 1.2 में हुआ है। क्यों? क्योंकि बहुत सिंपल है। क्योंकि अगर आप जब एंट्री एनालाइजर में देखेंगे डिफरेंस क्या है 1.2 1.3 में, जब आप एंट्री एनालाइजर में जाएंगे वहां पर आपको पता चलेगा कि मार्च के महीने में आपको बहुत सारे दिन गायब दिखेंगे, आपको ट्रेड ही नहीं दिखेगा। जैसे कि सिर्फ 2 तारीख है, 2 तारीख के बाद में सीधे आपको 5 मिलेगा, 5 और 6, उसके बाद में 10 13 17 18 19। वैसे अगर आप 1.2 देखोगे तो और बहुत सारे दिन आपको एंट्रीज इसके अंदर मिलेंगे। वो क्यों? क्योंकि एंट्री प्राइस कैप में आपको सारा डिफरेंस पता चल जाएगा। 1.2 के अंदर हमने पहले से ही कहा था कि 1.2 में हम हमेशा कह रहे थे कि अगर 350 के ऊपर है आईटीएम और एटीएम 235 के ऊपर है तो आप उसको ट्रेड मत कीजिएगा, क्योंकि कोई फायदा नहीं है। ज्यादा प्रीमियम होने से मोमेंटम बाय में कोई फायदा नहीं होता है, इसलिए हमने कहा उसको इग्नोर कर दीजिएगा। लेकिन अभी हमने क्या किया है, उसको DTE2 मतलब ये रहता है बुधवार, गुरुवार और शुक्रवार के दिन। DTE1 जो मंडे है हमने वो उसको कम कर दिया है। 300, ये जो 350 था उसको हमने कम करके 250 कर दिया है और DTE0 में हमने कर दिया 210। मतलब सोमवार के दिन 250 और मंगलवार के दिन 210। मंगलवार के दिन अगर 210 से ज्यादा प्राइस है तो वो कोई ट्रेड लेगा ही नहीं। ठीक है, शायद इसीलिए आज कोई ट्रेड नहीं हुआ 1.3 में। कल भी ये सिस्टम कोई ट्रेड नहीं लेगा मेरे हिसाब से, क्योंकि प्रीमियम अभी भी बहुत ज्यादा है। क्योंकि गैप डाउन गैप अप की वजह से प्रीमियम बहुत ज्यादा हो रहा है, तो कल भी इसको इग्नोर कर देगा, विच इज गुड। एक्चुअली हमारे हिसाब से वो बेहतर अल्टरनेटिव है, इंस्टेड ऑफ कि हम लोग अननेसेसरीली हाई वोलेटिलिटी हाई प्रीमियम में ट्रेड सिस्टम ले। इससे बेहतर है कि हम लोग वेट करके कंटिन्यू करें, क्योंकि ज्यादा प्रीमियम ज्यादा है, मोमेंटम भी, वोलेटिलिटी ज्यादा है, तो कभी कभी चांसेस है कि सिस्टम अच्छा काम करता है। लेकिन क्योंकि वोलेटिलिटी ज्यादा है, थोड़ा बहुत भी अगर मान लीजिए क्या होता है ना कि अगर 350 का है तो यहां से 50 रुपए का 50 पॉइंट का स्टॉप लॉस, मतलब फिर भी हमारा 15% या ऐसे कुछ आ जाता है। लेकिन जैसे ही ये 400 हो जाता है तो 50 पॉइंट्स का स्टॉप लॉस बहुत छोटा पड़ जाता है। छोटा मोटा वोलेटिलिटी भी वो स्टॉप लॉस हिट कर जाता है, और वही हुआ था मार्च 1 वीक में। तो इसीलिए उसको अवॉइड करने के लिए हमने DTE वाइज, मतलब डेज टू एक्सपायरी, DTE वाइज हमने एक एंट्री प्राइस रखा है, जिसकी वजह से कुछ ट्रेड्स इग्नोर हो जाते हैं, विच इज फाइन, लेकिन एटलीस्ट वो सेफली उसको एग्जीक्यूट करता है। मोर ओवर हम हमेशा सबसे कहते हैं कि ये कोई शॉर्ट टर्म तरीका नहीं है कैपिटल या फिर आल्गो का काम करने का, ये लॉन्ग टर्म तरीका है। शॉर्ट टर्म में बिकॉज ईरान वार की वजह से जो भी हो रहा है, शॉर्ट टर्म में ये ऑब्वियसली बहुत ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट कर रहा है, लेकिन लॉन्ग टर्म में हमें ये सारे प्राइसेस इसी रेंज में मिलते हैं, तो ऑब्वियसली ये अपने आप काम करते जाएगा। अब रहा सवाल ये एंट्री प्राइसेस का, अगर किसी वजह से निफ्टी के एक्सपायरी के प्राइसेस अगर किसी वजह से चेंज होते हैं, जो हम कह रहे हैं कि एवरेज प्राइस 210 के नीचे ही रहना चाहिए, हम इसको हर हफ्ते इवेल्युएट करते रहते हैं, जरूरत पड़े तो हम इससे थोड़ा ऊपर या थोड़ा नीचे हम लोग उसको एडजस्ट करते रहते हैं, ठीक है। और आप सबको पता है कि आपको यहाँ पे प्रोफाइल में आल्गो वेबहुक में यहाँ पर आपको ऑप्शन है सेलेक्ट करने का, कौन सा वर्जन आपको कौन सा वर्जन आपको सेलेक्ट करना है वो आप यहाँ पर सेलेक्ट करके छोड़ सकते हो, ठीक है। वो जैसे सेलेक्ट करोगे आपको स्ट्राइक भी सेलेक्ट करना पड़ेगा कि कौन सा स्ट्राइक आपको एग्जीक्यूट करना है, आईटीएम 1, आईटीएम 2, आईटीएम 3, आईटीएम 4। मोमेंटम बाय आईटीएम 2 बेहतर है आईटीएम 4 से, क्योंकि आईटीएम 2 का एंट्री प्राइसेस थोड़े बेहतर है, आई थिंक मोर देन एनीथिंग एल्स। अगर आप यहाँ पर देखेंगे आईटीएम 2 आई थिंक इज मच बेटर देन मंथली। अगर आप देखेंगे तो आईटीएम 2 मोमेंटम बाय 1.2 नहीं 1.3 का, सॉरी, आईटीएम 4 आईटीएम 2 मंथली अगर आप देखेंगे तो दिस इज एक्चुअली मच बेटर। आईटीएम 2 के अंदर ज्यादा कंसिस्टेंट है, ग्राफ भी आपको दिखाई देगा, थोड़ा बेहतर है, कंसिस्टेंसी ज्यादा आईटीएम 2 का कंपेयर टू आईटीएम 4 से। लेकिन आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है कि आप कौन सा स्ट्राइक सेलेक्ट करना चाहते हैं, आप एनालाइज कर सकते हैं ना। हमने मोमेंटम सेल का भी 1.3 वर्जन रिलीज किया है, ठीक है। अब इसमें थोड़ा डिफरेंस ज्यादा है, कैसे? एक तो एंट्री प्राइस कैप्स हैं जो हमने DTE 2 प्लस, मतलब DTE 1 और DTE 0 में नहीं रखता है, DTE 2 प्लस में हम लोग ये सारे एंट्री प्राइस कैप्स रखे हैं यहाँ पर, जो इससे ज्यादा अगर प्राइस रहा तो वो फायर नहीं करता है। लेकिन एक इंपॉर्टेंट चेंज यहाँ पर यह है कि अगर आप 11th मार्च देखोगे, जैसे कि मैं आपको 1.2 में दिखाऊंगा, मैं आपको एंट्री एनालाइजर में 11 मार्च को क्या हुआ था, बड़ा मोमेंटम था, और ये मतलब इस आल्गो ने कोशिश की बीच में कोई ट्रेड लेने की, एंड समहाउ मोमेंटम थोड़ा शिफ्ट होने लग गया, तो इसलिए वो एग्जिट कर गया, 68 पॉइंट का लॉस लेकर चला गया। लेकिन अगर वही हम 1.3 लेते हैं एंट्री एनालाइजर में, 11th मार्च का अगर हम उदाहरण लेते हैं 1.3 का, ये 940 को ही एंट्री ले रहा है और एग्जिट ले रहा है लगभग 3:11, 3:12 पे, या वट 3:10 पे लगभग एग्जिट ले रहा है। ये बहुत बड़ा डिफरेंस है, क्योंकि ये मॉर्निंग में ही इवेल्युएट कर लेता है कि अगर इंटेंसिटी ज्यादा लगता है तो जो वन साइडेड मोमेंटम के दिन है वो ज्यादातर ये मिस नहीं करता है। 1.3 में, 1.2 में ये ज्यादातर मिस हो रहे हैं, हमें पता, और ये मोमेंटम बाई में भी हो रहे हैं। हम वहां पर भी इसको फिक्स करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, ऑल्दो वहां पर आई थिंक इतना स्टैटिस्टिकली इतना ज्यादा उसका इम्पैक्ट नहीं दिख रहा है, बट जो भी हम इसको वहां पर मोमेंटम बाई में भी इसको फिक्स करने की कोशिश करेंगे, टीम ऑलरेडी रिसर्च कर रहा है, बट ये बहुत ज्यादा एडवांटेज है 1.3 का, अलॉन्ग विथ जो भी प्राइस कैप्स है उसके साथ, ठीक है। तो ये दो चेंजेस थे जो हमने रिसेंटली रिलीज किए थे, एंड देन हम लोग ऑब्वियसली यहाँ अभी तो फिलहाल हमारे पास सिर्फ निफ्टी है, इस हफ्ते अगले 1-2 दिन में हम लोग सेंसेक्स के लिए मोमेंटम बाय वाला स्ट्रेटेजी सेंसेक्स के लिए हम लोग रिलीज करने वाले हैं, जो कि सरप्राइजिंगली मार्च के महीने में थोड़ा डेफिनेटली बेहतर काम किया है कंपेयर टू निफ्टी। एक रीजन उसका ये भी है क्योंकि सेंसेक्स का इन जनरल मोमेंटम ज्यादा होता है। मोमेंटम मतलब सेंसेक्स 400-500 पॉइंट ऊपर नीचे होते रहता है, 700-800 पॉइंट भी ऊपर नीचे होते रहता है कंपेयर टू निफ्टी, मतलब जितने नंबर ऑफ स्ट्राइक्स ऊपर नीचे बहुत ज्यादा होते हैं। आईओटीएम से आईटीएम जितने स्ट्राइक्स कन्वर्ट होते हैं वो सेंसेक्स में थोड़े ज्यादा होते हैं कंपेयर टू निफ्टी इन जनरल। तो उसकी वजह से शायद सेंसेक्स थोड़ा बेहतर काम किया, क्योंकि हमारा स्ट्रैटेजी मोमेंटम बेस्ड है, तो ऑब्वियसली बिना मोमेंटम के स्ट्रैटेजी काम नहीं करेगा। एंड सेंसेक्स में इन जनरल मोमेंटम इवन ऑन अ नॉर्मल अगर थोड़ा धीमे है तब भी उसका मोमेंटम थोड़ा ठीक ठाक ही लगता है। आई थिंक वो एक कारण है जिसकी वजह से सेंसेक्स थोड़ा बेहतर है। 1-2 दिन में हम आपको अनाउंस कर देंगे टेलीग्राम में भी और डिस्कॉर्ड में भी, जैसे ये रिलीज हो जाएगा आपको यहाँ पर दिख जाएगा। यहाँ पर आपको सेंसेक्स के लिए भी हम ऑप्शन दे देंगे, शायद ये एसेट को हम लोग पहले डाल देंगे ताकि आप सेंसेक्स सेलेक्ट करके मोमेंटम बाय या सेल आप सेलेक्ट कर सकते हो। ये थोड़ा शायद ऑर्डर चेंज हो जाएगा बस। तो ये रहे कुछ चेंजेस एंड कुछ और भी परफॉर्मेंस के रिलेटेड कुछ क्वेरीज है, जो भी क्वेश्चन है हम आपको ऑब्वियसली आंसर करने के लिए तैयार हैं। अभी मैं एक ब्रेक लेता हूँ क्योंकि मैं बहुत सारी चीजें एक्सप्लेन कर रहा हूँ एंड मुझे पता है कि बहुत सारे सवाल भी हैं, तो एक एक करके आई थिंक सवाल ले सकते हैं एंड देन मुझे एक और चीज भी एक्सप्लेन करना है, वो थोड़ी देर के बाद में एक्सप्लेन कर दूंगा। ऑलरेडी कुछ लोगों ने हैंड रेज किया है, तो आई विल जस्ट स्टार्ट विथ वन बाय वन। मुझे ऑर्डर नहीं पता है, जो भी मुझे ऑर्डर दिखा उनके साथ मैं चलता हूँ। अजय भाई सबसे पहले आपसे शुरू करते हैं।
हेलो सर।
हाँ जी बोलिए।
एंड टू एंड जो ऑटोमेशन है, फुल ऑटोमेशन कब तक होगा?
उसका अभी ये न्यू रेगुलेशंस के चलते और भी ज्यादा डिलेस हो जाएंगे उसके अंदर। अगेन कोई रोड मैप, मुझे एग्जैक्ट डेडलाइन नहीं है, रोड मैप है लेकिन डेडलाइन कोई टाइम अभी मुझे तो नहीं पता है अजय भाई, क्योंकि रेगुलेशंस काफी चेंजेस हो रहे हैं इसके अंदर। जब तक कि थोड़ा स्टेबलाइज ना हो तब तक मुझे नहीं लगता है कि अप्रूवल्स भी मिलेंगे। एक्चुअली नए रेगुलेशंस के हिसाब से जितना मैंने सुना है, ब्रोकर्स अभी ज्यादा पावरफुल हो गए हैं आल्गोस को लिस्ट करने के लिए। अगर वैसा होता है और अगर ब्रोकर्स आल्गो प्लेटफॉर्म्स को लिस्ट करते हैं तो शायद थोड़ा जल्दी हो जाएगा, लेकिन क्योंकि अभी ग्रे एरिया है, अभी भी सभी लोग इस रेगुलेशंस को समझ रहे हैं, तो शायद 1 महीना तो लग ही जाएगा उन लोगों को समझकर ऐसे कुछ आर्टिकल्स पब्लिश करके या आल्गो प्रोवाइडर्स के साथ में काम करने के लिए। तो जैसे ही ज्यादा क्लैरिटी मिल जाएगा आई थिंक हमारे लिए रास्ता क्लियर हो जाएगा अजय भाई। तब तक आई थिंक हम लोगों को थोड़ा केयरफुली चलना पड़ेगा।
हाँ, क्योंकि वो धन में भी जो आल्गोज है वो रिजनेबल चार्ज कर रहे हैं ना, कम रहता है उनका मंथली सब्सक्रिप्शन।
हाँ
तो आपका लॉट के हिसाब से रहेगा ना, जब हो जाएगा तब लॉट के हिसाब से सब्सक्रिप्शन रहेगा ना।
या अगर वैसा होता है तो बहुत इजी होता है, क्योंकि लॉट के हिसाब से सब्सक्रिप्शन चेंज किया जा सकता है एंड सब्सक्रिप्शन ऑब्वियसली कम प्राइसिंग भी चेंज किया जा सकता है। अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी अभी नहीं है, लेकिन आप जो कह रहे हो सही है, क्योंकि प्राइसिंग कंट्रोल करने का बहुत आसान तरीका मिल जाता है उस टाइम पे। करेक्ट।
ठीक है सर, ओके।
थैंक यू। अभिनव।
Yeah, hi Patrick.
Hi.
My question was regarding version 1.3. If you look at the monthly gross figures across all strike prices, I think there is some anomaly. If you look at ITM4, look at that value for March. I'm looking at March only.
Correct.
Minus 14,000. Now, if you go to ITM2 and then you go to ATM.
Sure. It will still be negative.
But it is higher.
ITM2 is slightly higher. Correct.
Higher. Now, I'm wondering how is it possible that ITM and ATM is positive?
ATM is positive.
Yes.
I think
despite the fact that if you look at the winning trades,
the difference
look at
correct. The difference I think will be here 27 out of 11. Okay. And the problem is because of the filter 41 out of 11. And ITM4 is 40 out of 40 and 9. So that is the difference. Because of the price cap, they are not all the same. They are essentially becoming slightly different variation of the same strategy because of the entry price cap. Now, it was important for us to select a price cap at each variant. Obviously, it has to be, right? It can't be one price for everything. And because you understand, sometimes what happens is Nifty goes 100 points up and suddenly comes down. It doesn't go 200 points. It doesn't go 150 points. So all those dynamics make a huge impact. But the easiest answer is the number of trades taken makes a huge impact. Depending on how many trades are taken, how many trades are filtered out based on that. But either way, I don't think, except for ATM, because ATM has much stricter pricing, I don't think anything has survived. We tried our best to see if we could come across any variation that could help survive March. We couldn't. And we did not want to tailor fit for March. You understand? So I've also said this, I think, in Discord, saying that none of these algos are, there is the term, right? What is it called? Curve fit. They are not curve fit. When I say they are not curve fit, What we mean to say is that I think this is the stat that we will publish maybe in another tab itself. It is that, sorry, entry analyzer, not entry, monthly. Yeah, this one. It is that the 40 trades, or let's say a positive month, the 68 trades. Let's say that all the 68 trades were fired at 10 a.m. All of them, let's assume, were 10 a.m. every day. 10 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 p.m., 2 p.m., let's say. Okay. Either they fired at 10 a.m. or 12 p.m. or 2 p.m. If a user, or rather if the strategy ends up taking a trade at 12:01, 12:02, 12:03, 10:04, 10:05, 2:07, 2:08, 2:09, 2:10, up to 2:10 or up to 12:10, 10 minutes after the strategy says that momentum, buy momentum or sell momentum is there, it still performs and it still gets us a positive curve. It drops, obviously it will not be this much, and the returns will not be this much. If you wait 10 minutes, obviously it's not going to be great, but the curve still holds and the curve is still positive, which proves that none of these strategies are curve fit. When we say curve fit, it means that we are trying to fit a strategy to the March regime so much that it doesn't work out in other regimes, or it might not work in other regimes easily. And an easiest way to figure that out is, what if you ignore the alert given at that minute and take it 2 minutes later, 3 minutes later? If it survives even 2-3 minutes, right, it is decent enough. But if it survives 10 minutes, it tells you that it is actually structural compared to curve fit. So that is what is important for us. We do not want to, in the process of just ensuring March we show as green, we do not want to do something that is like tightly fit for this particular scenario or March 2026.
I mean, because the premiums are rising, I mean, no selling strategy is working. The only flip side to this is there will be a time when these premiums will start decreasing and there will be a rapid kind of fall in these premiums. That is when I hope those price caps don't stop us from making the money or the lost, make up for the lost money that we've
So
kind of had in March.
the way I see it is, Abhinav, um, if if the gap up and gap down doesn't happen, I'll forget about the war. Let's talk about technicals, right? If the gap up and gap down stops, now because of the gap down, premiums will be high tomorrow as well. They will be high next week a little bit, at least I think Wednesday and Thursday also premiums will be slightly higher. But either ways, if the gap up and gap down doesn't happen, Nifty has a predefined, the way the NSE algorithms work, they have a predefined price for DT, price for DT4, DT5, DT6, current week expiry, next week expiry, and the week after expiry. Those prices are more or less defined, saying that if it is deep in the money 4, at this time, the usual premium is this, right? Otherwise, the time decay strategy they have built, it will kill the premium. Okay, unless there is a high premium day. Nifty is programmed, or NSE is programmed to keep these premiums in that range if no gap up and gap down happen, right? That is the reason why we are consistently able to see the price caps of 350, for example, for buy, 375, I think, for sell, right? That is because we know that month on month, week on week, month on month, year on year, we see that is the average price. That is what happens. It doesn't go beyond that. Now, if this is arrested, if the gap downs and gap up, even if the war is there, if the gap up and gap down doesn't happen, premiums don't go high. Premiums remain in the range that usually we see. As long as that happens, right, this seems to work fine.
No, I mean, gap up, gap down is a part of our Indian market because we are only open for six hours. That's the problem, actually.
Correct. Now, when I say gap ups and gap downs, I'm talking about 2% gap downs, 1.5% gap downs. We always have gap up or gap down of 200, 300 points, which is never a problem. Because if you see 2025, the thing is to see this. So 2025, we had gap ups and gap downs always, right? It is not like we need not have gap ups and gap downs. The moment we have 2.5%, 2% gap ups and gap downs, the premiums are simply too high. So that is where we are struggling. And I can only wish that we build a pure theta based strategy at some point, which really takes advantage of these days, the high premium days. At this moment, we don't. I'll be honest with what we have, what we don't have.
Right,
So
because momentum will only work like 20-30% of the times. I mean, the entire reason of people selling options is to make money from theta, right? Because theta is supposed to be a very high on DT1 and DT0 days. So I hope
Correct.
we can kind of incorporate that aspect as well.
Correct.
The only
Absolutely.
issue is MTM issues, which generally will not happen here because the strategy will exit. Because normally when people sell, the main issue that people face is the MTM, right? So a 10
Correct.
rupee option will go to 100 and then come back to zero. That's the
Correct.
that's the issue with theta sometimes. So
So
and
the
secondly, yeah.
go on.
No. Second question was regarding pricing for people who've kind of subscribed because we've kind of subscribed at a time when we've seen the drawdown in
I
the
know.
first month itself.
I know.
Right. So
So
if you can look at pricing for the next month as well, because I think most of the people will be in the negative. I'm sure everybody who's kind of
correct.
subscribed to both sell or buy will be in the negative ever since they've subscribed.
Correct. Correct. So what we have done is, um, from the pricing point of view, especially for sell, the buy was still a little better. But from
Mhm.
sell point of view, we understand that it is very bad. That is the reason why we thought instead of changing the monthly, we will just offer a 3 months plan. And 3 months plan for sell, especially, we have changed it to 105. I wanted to explain this at the end. The number of valid days is 105 instead of 90 days because I told you, I think last time when we had a call, I think it was you who was asked the question. I
Yes,
don't
yes,
remember.
correct.
Yeah, so I did mention saying that I have commitment from the team that they will do something if it doesn't work, because end of the day, it's not like if it doesn't work, we will never be able to sustain this. There's no way anybody will stick with us in the longer run. So
Correct.
that is the reason why they've changed it to 105 days instead of 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that I think if you work out the math, it will probably be much lesser compared to, I think it'll post discount, it is only 12K. 105 days instead of 90 days, I think works out much better compared to 5K monthly. So, that was team's way of saying we understand that this is a bad time. We are confident that this will turn around. I mean, this was never supposed to be a short term, but then that is not an excuse. We are not saying that oh, this is short term. We don't want to really change our pricing. Don't want to reflect our pricing or anything like that. We want to be we want to we want to reflect that this has happened and be practical about how things work out, even especially from retail point of view, right? That is the reason why the 3 months price is slashed, and at the same time, number of days have increased. And this is only for sell, by the way. For buy, it continues to be at 90 days.
I mean, the first month was fairly cheaper, right? It was with the discount. I think it was 3,000 rupees, so it's fairly expensive even compared to that. So I was thinking it might be a little lower with the discount coupon, but anyways.
Yeah,
We
I'll
paid a lot
again
lower in the first month, right? If you remember, I think I
correct,
paid around 3,000 in the first month.
correct,
And
correct.
and while the strategy is still being optimized, I mean, had the strategy been in running for 5-6 months and there were minor changes, I could understand the pricing. But the strategy is being optimized to a fairly large extent. So I was thinking that the pricing was even lower. But anyways, now that you've
So
taken it to the pricing team,
yeah, I'll again I will obviously take the feedback back to the finance team, obviously.
correct.
But a
Right,
couple
because
of
you
things.
know that
One
the
thing is
strategy is being optimized, right? There are some issues with the sales strategy that is kind of being looked at, especially around pricing caps, and then there were issues when the strategy should have entered, did not enter. So I was just thinking if these aspects could be looked at, let it run for 3-4 months. I mean, if the strategy is working, you will make that money from more subscribers. So making money is
correct,
not the
understood.
issue. Is the if the issue is people have the confidence. And if you see the drawdown in the first month is where people will kind of eject from the strategy.
Correct, I
And
understand.
that's a honest feedback from a user. If I don't see the strategy working for another month, I may also not continue.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is practical. Even if I am a subscriber, if I am an end user, even the same thing for me as well.
Mhm.
If the algo doesn't do well in the month of, let's say April,
Correct.
then that will obviously,
Because it
not
is
not
eating
so.
from the capital, right? It is not
Correct,
eating from the profit, it is eating from the capital.
correct, exactly. And I
Yeah.
completely take the point. And I don't think it's not fair on anybody to say, it has to be, for 6 months commitment, 8 months commitment, in long-term commitment. But then irrespective of how much we say that this is a long-term, has to be 3 months, 6 months. Sometimes if you are lucky, first month itself it does well. End of the day, it is capital that is being hit, and retailer will obviously react based on how it performs, at least in a month or two, which is fair. I completely take your point. However, just to add to on your point, the algo being optimized, I don't think the story will ever change. The algo will continue to be optimized forever. I'll give you one story. I'll give you one very, very important story. This is from Jane Street. Okay. Now, Jane Street, we all know that whatever they have done, they have done. I'm not talking about that side of the story. Jane Street has a massive research and development wing where they do a lot of machine learning and a lot of ML and AI based training and all that, and they do it for Indian market also. Now, if you read online and if you look at their algos, right, one thing that they all say is keep adapting. Having to adapt every day is the only constant in algorithms. You cannot say that you have built something and that will work for 1 year, 2 years, and 3 years. So my point is, I don't think your stance, and I get it. I'm not telling you saying you are wrong, but I think even after 6 months, you join the call and you will say that you're still adopting it, or you're still, making adjustments. The other perspective to see is, if, for example, the February month, if it did not have so much gap downs, we probably would not have changed anything because we had not seen the regime, the gap down regimes, and we would have said it is working anyway, why tinker with it? We may not have changed anything. But because we are being presented with situations, we have to react, because if we don't, then there is no use of us sitting and offering algo services. Why would anybody trust? So the point to say is that the changes and evolving of the strategy has to happen. If we don't do it, then it should become a problem. So for anybody who is subscribing, if we do not make changes constantly every 2 months, 3 months, if there is not even a small change, then that means that we have become complacent, and that means that in the longer run this will probably become a challenge. There has to be research that continues, has to continue every single day. Otherwise, at some point it will start breaking.
Actually, what is happening? The portfolio is getting hit, right? So the margin available is also getting reduced. So it's being a hit from every side, right?
I know.
That's the problem.
I get that, and I'm completely with you. I'm telling you, if I'm a subscriber myself, I will also start thinking it from that point of view. But then, what gives me confidence is the fact that the algos are performing well, provided we have a normal environment. The algo is performing well even now. It is just the environment that we are in, it is hitting us very bad. Both algos, I can proudly say that both momentum buy and momentum sell, they are doing well, provided the environment is not completely tampered with because of war or whatever is going on. They're doing exceptionally well. Only when these environments are presented, that is when we have a challenge, which I think is fair. Okay, I think at some point in time this will become normal, or it will either continue or it will stop. So either ways it will become a normal. I think it is at that point, and Nifty will see its bottom. It can no more take 2%, down, 3% down and all that. I think at that point it will start again coming back to normal. I have a feeling that next month, April will be the month, because whatever said and done, no news, it can sustain, this badly for so long, and Nifty is already at record low. So next month, I think that even if it stays down, I think it will not have so many of gap downs at least.
There is a gap up tomorrow expected now.
Tomorrow gap up.
There is a gap up because of I think there is a halt for war for 5 days. So Trump has announced no action. So there is, I think, GIFT Nifty is around 800, 900 points up.
Yeah, so that is a problem. The thing is that they have also, I think today morning itself there was some, Israel had fired some missiles or something like that. News was there. I don't know. This has to, at some point, it has to become normal. I think that is when I think this will start, doing its work. It will do, it'll do much better than where we are right now. So anyway, Abhinav, I will have to take a pause. I understand that many people have the same questions. I'll just continue with the next person. दीपाली जी बोलिए।
हेलो।
हेलो, हाँ जी
Good evening,
बोलिए।
sir.
गुड इवनिंग, बोलिए।
एक्चुअली मुझे बस एक क्वेश्चन है सर। एक्चुअली मैं तो मतलब एक ही लॉट पे अभी ट्रायल के लिए लिया है मैंने ये अल्गो का। तो
ठीक है।
समटाइम अभी एक लॉट पे मतलब नहीं कि 15,000 वगैरह कुछ 20,000 तक कैपिटल लगता है। तो उसके हिसाब से समटाइम जब प्रॉफिट अच्छा आ जाता है और फिर बाद में रिवर्स आके एसएल लग जाता है। तो मतलब इसमें क्या 1:1 या 1.5 जब आ जाता है उसमें प्रॉफिट, तो ये ट्रेलिंग नहीं हो सकता क्या आपके यहाँ से?
मुझे पता है आप ये वाले ट्रेड में आपके
लॉस।
स्पेशल।
राइट राइट।
हाँ, तो ये मैं आज सुबह ही बता रहा था दीपाली जी, क्या होता है कि हम लोग ये 1.1:1 1:2 ऐसा कोई कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं है।
नहीं,
ठीक है।
लेकिन क्या रहता है सर, क्योंकि मार्केट तो डेली ट्रेंडिंग नहीं रहता है, तो जिस दिन ट्रेंडिंग रहता है वो टाइम पे आ जाता है ये सर।
करेक्ट। तो हमने दिनेश आपको म्यूट कर रहे हैं, सॉरी। हाँ, तो बेसिकली क्या होता है कि टीम ने ऑलरेडी इसको टेस्ट कर लिया था अलग अलग पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से। ये प्रॉब्लम तभी आ रहा है जब ये वी शेप में रिवर्सल हो रहा है, तब ये इसका एग्जिट काफी लेट हो रहा है। ये टीम को भी पता है, आज सुबह ही मैंने कहा था कि जब भी ये वी शेप के रिकवरीज हो रहे हैं तब एग्जिट काफी लेट हो रहा है, जिसकी वजह से ये जो प्रॉफिट है पूरा प्रॉफिट निकल रहा है और इनफैक्ट लॉस में चला जा रहा है।
राइट राइट।
ओके, तो ये इश्यू जो है वो टीम फिक्स करने की कोशिश कर रही है। अगर वी शेप का रिवर्सल नहीं है तो एग्जिट्स मोर और लेस सही है। फॉर एग्जांपल यहां से आया, यहां पर एग्जिट चला गया, व्हाटएवर जो प्रॉफिट है लॉस है व्हाटएवर, इट इज एबल टू डू वेल। इसको हम लोग कंसिडर नहीं कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि हर एक एंट्री क्या करता है कि उसको वो कोशिश करता है कि जितना हो सके उसको चांस दे। एंड कभी कभी क्या होता है कि 50 पॉइंट्स को चला गया, उसके बाद में इमीडिएटली जैसे नीचे आ गया तो इट फेल्ट, उसको लगा कि ये गलत है एंड इट एग्जिटेड। इसको हम लोग नहीं कर सकते हैं। और दूसरा प्रॉब्लम ये है कि आल्गो में हम लोग हर एक ट्रेड को हम लोग जज नहीं कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि आप किसी भी तरह से आप ट्रेन करो इस मॉडल को ना, हमको कोई ना कोई ट्रेड मिलेगा ही मिलेगा जिसमें हमको लगेगा यार इसने क्यों यहाँ पे एग्जिट नहीं किया बोलकर, वो मिलेगा ही मिलेगा, हम चाहे कितना भी कोशिश करें। राइट। एंट्रीज हमें कितने ही सही लगे, कहीं ना कहीं पर तो हमको लगता है या तो एंट्री गलत था या फिर एग्जिट गलत था। वो होता ही होता है, जैसे हम लोग ह्यूमनली हम लोग भी करते हैं तो वैसे ही होता है उसके अंदर। लेकिन जो कंसिस्टेंटली जो हमको दिख रहा है उसको हम फिक्स करने की कोशिश करते हैं, जो कि ये है। तो टीम अभी जो रिसर्च कर रहा है वो यही कर रहे हैं कि जो वी शेप रिकवरी है, यहाँ पे लगभग 100 पॉइंट चला गया। फॉर एग्जाम्पल ऑलमोस्ट 100 पॉइंट वापस आने के बाद में एग्जिट हुआ है। ये अगर हो सके जल्दी एग्जिट कर ले तो शायद ये पूरा दिन ही शायद थोड़ा बहुत ब्रेक इवन में चला जाता है, फिर पॉजिटिव में चला जाता है। आई डोंट नो, बिकॉज ये भी 1000 का नेगेटिव है। तो ये इशू टीम फिक्स करने की कोशिश कर रही है डेफिनेटली।
ओके ओके, थैंक यू।
नो प्रॉब्लम। Mr. VK?
Yeah, Patil sir.
Hi.
So my question is regarding this V 1.3. So I really don't understand how we are correlating the market gap downs and gap ups with the premiums, whatever they are, 350, etc. Because my understanding is like it depends on the volatility, right? As the volatility increases, the sellers demand more premium. It could
No,
be
not
it could be
just the
350, it could
volatility.
be, yeah.
Sorry, go on.
It could be depend on VIX. 21, currently 21 or something is there, 20 plus is there. So when the VIX was around 10 to 15, the premiums were low. When the VIX is peaked to 20 to 25, then we are seeing 350, 300. It could go and 30 plus also and stay for quite a few months, right? Maybe not months, maybe it could stay for some time, right? At that time, the premiums could be 600 for 700 also. During COVID times, we saw that. So how we are correlating, and if the VIX is going like that, then our algo definitely will down perform, right?
Yeah, it will not perform well if the premiums are too high. First of all, it will not take any trades at all, like it has happened today, like it will happen tomorrow. I know I'm very confident that it will not 1.3 will not take any interest tomorrow also. Now what happens is, so volatility, I think we have two separate definitions of volatility. The way we are, okay, fair enough. I'll rather use momentum instead of volatility. So what we need is momentum, right? And the entry price caps are purely based on, for that DT, what is an average best price for Nifty if there is no massive volatility. Okay. Based on that, we have identified and said that, okay, 210 is the average price that Nifty has to be there. More or less, that is the price Nifty has to be there. And even in this month, right? I think one of the week we have figured out that it was actually in that range. Only when gap ups and gap downs happen, suddenly it goes up. The premiums go up. Okay, I'm not looking at wicks. I'm completely ignoring wicks for now. Let's say that Nifty doesn't do gap up or gap down tomorrow and day after. By Thursday, the prices come to the normal range, which is basically DT2 plus 350 range. It will definitely come down. Not Thursday. By Thursday, the prices will definitely come down because Nifty inbuilt NSE has an algorithm to kill the premiums based on time. And they will keep killing it, provided the volatility doesn't increase the premium back, to 300, 400, 500. You understand what I'm saying? So it is true that if the market remains like every day, if it is doing gap up and gap down, we will stay away from the market. 1.3 will stay away from the market for a few days, for sure. But for how long can market do such massive gap ups and gap downs? Historically, this is already unprecedented.
Okay.
I don't think it can sustain like this. I don't think it can, no institutional investor will have confidence if it continues like this. A slight gap up and gap down is always appreciated. But then a gap up of gap down of 2%, 3%, I don't think, is really something that even institutions will be uncomfortable with. So everyone in general will say that at some point this will stabilize. When it does, that is when it will come back to its normal prices.
As long as Trump is there, I don't have any, confidence that it will not be there, because Trump is there. He is, based on his tweets and his works, markets will be like this quite some time. They will not be as when he came to power, and from then onwards, we have been seeing this kind of fluctuations, and the stability we don't know.
With the Iran's experience, I don't think no new initiatives will be done anymore. Believe me, I think everyone understands now US will not become an aggressor anymore for at least some time. With what has happened with what Iran has done to US military, I don't think that aggression will happen. However, tariffs and all will continue, but tariffs will not happen. Tariffs will not continue to move the market up and down, gap up and gap down for weeks and weeks and months, right? It will happen once, and then market will know, okay, it has fallen how much ever it was about to fall, and then it will continue. The problem is war. With war, we don't know. Because in a situation like this, Iran is obviously very powerful because of where they are situated, and US doesn't seem to look like the most powerful. Anyways, I don't want to get into the political part of it, but yeah. So I have a feeling that even Trump will not dare to do anything like this. Hoping for the best. Correct.
Yeah. My second question is like, if we see the algo performance of March, there are only 1 or 2 days it has performed quite well. Those days were, like as you said, trending days. Okay.
Correct.
So, and most of the days it is when the algo takes the trade, it is going to profit, and then it is turning to, as Deepali said, it is turning to negative. Okay.
Correct.
So my question is, see, what if market, everyone is having the FIIs and SIDA, the HNIs are having the most advanced data. With like whatever they are having the directly subscribed to high level of data and quite analytics they can perform. And what if they are doing, I feel like generally by looking at the algo every day, I am seeing that they are creating the volume, whatever the algo players, everyone need to sense the volume, and slowly they are sucking out the volume and making the trade into the losses. That's what my, by looking at the trade, I am seeing that thing. So is there anything like we can come out of this kind of thing, profits, to turn this into the profits? Because if we look at the past 1 month performance, there are all the win rate is very less. As you said, the reason could be the premiums fluctuation, but if we can understand in some market cases, we have seen the cases where market moved entire day within 50-70 points range. At that times, everyone will lose because they are there to suck the liquidity. That we can understand. But here the market is moving 200-300 points swing or 150-200 points. Still, we are going into the negative. Okay, because we are seeing the profits and we are not
Able
exiting
to
on the right
capitalize.
time. Yeah.
Correct.
So yeah.
Okay. So to answer to your point, I'm just looking at momentum buy. I'm assuming we are talking.
Yeah,
We are looking at
yes,
momentum buy.
only.
Yeah. So one is, in general, the trades are pretty good, and that is where my confidence comes from. In general, the trades are. I'll just take this month's example of 1.3. Okay. For example, 20. Now, it did not take any entries in the morning. It should have, but I can't really pinpoint every single day and say
Let's
that why
take
it did not
1.2.
take
Let's
entry.
take 1.2. Just I asked 1.2 just for example. We
Understood.
can 1.2. We can go with. Yeah.
Yeah. So 1.2, for example, I think it has, it actually did well. So if you see, right, it was able to take the trade here, and it actually correctly took the trade here. And I told you that we already see there is a problem in V-shaped recovery. It did not do well. Otherwise, it is able to, the strategy is able to understand the momentum properly. It is able to position its trades well. Okay. Take any day. It is able to, sell momentum was there, sell momentum was there, sell momentum was there. It is not able to capitalize. It exited quickly. Once it exits, unless there is a recovery, it doesn't enter. That's how the strategy is, so that it can safeguard in too many momentums. Otherwise it would end up taking 10-15 trades, right? It understood that there is no buy momentum, so it never went long, right? This is what gives us confidence. Again, morning there was sell momentum, it exited, and long momentum, and after that it probably could have gone long. It did not. This is where our confidence is building, to be honest, VK, because it's not taking two bad trades. It is not, again, end of the day, it's not positive. I completely get it. But the way it is positioning itself is actually very good for an algo. Believe me, I've seen many algos in my experience in my life. I've seen a lot of algos.
Yeah,
This
that's
is doing
true.
pretty
That's true,
well.
sir. That's true. But what if like someone is pushing the volume, whatever we need the volume, whatever someone is pushing, and slowly
Institutions,
the entries are taken, slowly they are evaporating the volume. So
no, it is very
when they are
difficult,
sucking out
VK.
the volume, it is not visible, right? Only the other player, when they are turning into losses, that could be the square of volume.
It is very difficult, VK. It is not easy. Don't look at it look at it this way.
Okay.
Assume that we all sit on a floor, and that floor has 1 million people.
Okay.
Do you think there can ever be a coordination? 1 million people,
No.
10 lakh people sitting on a floor. That's how the market is. It is very difficult even for an institution to do it. Believe me, it is not easy. Jane Street would have made 10 billion US dollars, not half a billion US dollars from Bank Nifty, if they knew it could have been coordinated better. Institutions, there are thousands, not one or two institutions. Even they themselves cannot do anything coordinated.
Okay.
If Jane Street says long, 10 Indian companies will say short. It's not easy. It is really not easy. Even for an institution to hold positions, it's not easy. And NSE does a pretty good job. SEBI and NSE do a very good job in ensuring that nobody manipulates the market. It is not easy. Believe me, it is not easy. If it was easy, no algo strategy would have performed this well. For this, it would not have sustained.
Okay.
It would not have sustained.
I think our starting time could be wrong time. I believe
It was just a bad luck. Believe me, man.
Sir, literally what's happening is when the algo is taking trade after seeing the profit, nowadays my mind is saying anyway it has to go into the negative by the end of the day. That's what it is happening actually. So
Well,
it's maybe wrong time or something like that.
it is just unfortunate that we are
Yeah.
getting to that kind of a mindset. It is just unfortunate.
Because by looking at to the personal question, I started March 1st, okay, with 3 lakhs capital and 10 lots. By today, my
Oh my
entire
God.
capital is wiped out.
Oh God. Okay.
So that's what we are looking, right? For one lot, it is 27,000. I am 30,000 out of 30,000, 27,000 is gone. Means like with today, my capital is entirely wiped out. So what you suggest me? Because how to go ahead with this kind of, because I saw in 1 week, first week I saw the drawdowns and I thought to come back to one lot.
Bring it down.
Bring it down to one lot. But what I thought is, if the algo performs next next month, next 2 weeks, 3 weeks perfectly, then it will take so much time, so many months to recover my loss. So that's why I left it. Okay, let us see what will happen, kind of thing. It is completely wiped out with today's 33,000 loss.
You are on 1.2 still?
Yeah, 1.2 only.
Oh,
One day I changed it to 1.3 to my
stick to
my bad
1.3.
luck. That's 215. The strike price 215. It skipped the trade. That trade went into profit. So I felt very bad. So that's okay. Anyway, we are bearing the loss. Let's go back to 1.2 kind of thing.
Please stick to 1.3 for time being, especially in this market environment. Stick to 1.3. My first suggestion.
Okay.
My second suggestion is, whenever you are doing something like this, always bring down the lots.
Okay.
At least half, bring it down by half. Okay. If an algo, look at it this way, if an algo has performed this well for a period of, let's say, 14-15 months, right? It will have its time. It will get its time.
Okay.
We will never be able to recover our losses in 1 or 2 days.
So what is the indication for this? Like VIX has to come down to 10-15 or something like that?
Get 2 weeks positive and then you go back to your this thing. Look at the curve, no? Get 2 positive weeks and then you go back to your normal. Give 2 weeks.
So if I bring down to 5 lots, suppose 2 weeks positive means the loss. If I increase the lots again, if it takes, that kind of volatility comes in, again it will go back.
I understand. I think the biggest problem is scaling down.
Okay.
Okay. So Vicky, I'll do one thing. I'll take this as an exercise for me and for my team.
Okay.
And I'll take this as a commitment from our side to see if we can do something about it in terms of how you should really scale your capital. Because 3 lakhs capital, entirely losing that capital, it bleeds our hearts, believe me. It's not good. So what we will do is, we will work out a way.
Blowing up the capital is not the issue. My problem was like, at least it should have given taken the profit, some profit it has showed for multiple trades, profitable trades it could have showed. Then we could have definitely got the confidence. But loss making trades are more. That's what it's killing the confidence.
This month it has been very, very bad. I completely agree with you. I recommend you don't change from 1.3 for at least for the next 1 or 2 weeks. Stick to 1.3. Doesn't matter if 1.3 doesn't do any trades for few days. It's okay.
Okay.
Capital is critical. Okay, please stick to 1.3. Second thing we will do is, we will see if we can publish something that will help us on how you should scale up or scale down. Scaling up is something that I've in the beginning itself I said don't do it. Scaling down is what I will definitely work out, and I will ask the team to get you something that makes sense, because this is bad. This should not have happened. I wish we had spoken a little earlier. Anybody who has questions like this, please reach out to us on WhatsApp requesting for a call. We will be happy as a team to look at data and help you out how to work out your capital, because this is bad. This should not have happened. And
no,
if we can't help you out,
how it should not have happened, like you said.
So what we ideally,
I'll tell you what happens. Yeah.
In reality,
so my point is, your backtesting data, we have a lot of confidence on your backtesting data. You showed backtesting data for 10 lots. Okay. So what we think, we have capital. So let's play with the kind of 10 lots we will go with. So we don't know that this month March will be like this kind of volatility, etc. So that's what it's happened. So we don't have any option to reduce the quantity or something like that.
So that is
because
what I'm saying.
We don't know this volatility, this 1.3 etc. came later into the picture. Okay.
So what the team will do is, VK, they will work out mathematically what is the best way of scaling down and scaling up.
Okay.
That the team can do. We have statistics. We can work out statistically what is the best way of scaling it down and then to scale it up eventually.
Okay.
Hoping that it will recover tomorrow is really bad anticipation. Nothing will happen overnight. We know, right? You also understand this. We will need at least a month or two for us to again get back and then to improve from there.
Yeah.
That is the reason I'm saying it was always a good idea to bring it down. Like I said, I will take this as a this thing for our end. How to scale it down? We will work on it, and we will publish some numbers or something that can help you in somehow bringing the capital down so that entire capital doesn't go off. Should have definitely come to 5 lots.
Okay.
Because end of the day, if you can go back to your 3 lakhs, even if it after 2 months, it is still fine.
Yeah.
Right? Because then we can say how you can scale it up also at some point in time so that you don't lose out those 2 months time.
Yeah. For scale up, sir, like I request you, like you said, right, this curve, whatever the curve is showing, this is a particular, market pattern, market condition, we can say, where the VIX is not high or a fluctuation. So it will be good if you do some research and give us like when to scale up, like when the markets has stabilized and there won't be a kind of
if you see a week or 2 weeks market is not going too much gap up and gap down, you can happily go back to your lots because we are confident the algos will do well.
Okay.
Till then, please reduce it.
Okay.
Please bring it down to 2 lots, 3 lots if required.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
And we will give you a study, please. I know that is I've written it down and we'll get you a study for sure. Yes, Shankar.
ಸರ್ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ನಿಮ್ದೊಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋದು ಡ್ರಾ ಡೌನ್ದು ಮತ್ತೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಸಮ್ಮರಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ
ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ.
ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ಸೊ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಡ್ರಾಡೌನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1.2 ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಈ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಇದು ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕಿರೋ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಡ್ರಾಡೌನ್ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ, ಪ್ರೀಮಿಯಂ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, 350, 400, 450 ತನಕ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದೆ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಪ್ರೈಸಸ್. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, 1.3ದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ಪ್ರೀಮಿಯಮ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೈರಿ ದಿವಸ 210 rupees ಇದ್ರೇನೆ ಅದು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ತಗೊಳತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಂಟ್ರಿನೇ ತಗೊಳಲ್ಲ. ವರ್ಷನ್ 1.3ದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಳೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೈರಿ ನಾಳೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಮಂಗಳವಾರ ದಿವಸ ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ಐಟಮ್ 4 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 210 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇದ್ರೇನೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇದ್ರೇನೆ ಅದು ತಗೊಳುತ್ತೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ನೀವು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಅನಲೈಸರ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೇಡೇ ಮಿಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡೇಟ್ಸೇ ಕಾಣಿಸಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ನೋಡಿ, ಮಾರ್ಚ್ ಮಂತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಡೇಟ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಟ್ರೇಡ್ಸ್ ಇವತ್ತಂತೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಡೇಟ್, 23rd ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೀಮಿಯಂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದು, ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡೋಣ. ಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದ್ ತಿಂಗಳು ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಬಿಟ್ರು ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ. ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ವೊಲೆಟಿಲಿಟಿದಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಬಿಡೋದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ನ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಟೈಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಅದೇ 1.3 ಹೊಸ ವರ್ಷನ್ 1.
ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್, ನಿಮ್ದು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಮೊಮೆಂಟಮ್ದು, ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಆಗೋ ಅಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಬಂದಿರ್ತದೆ. ನೀವು ಈಗ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಲಾಸ್ 50 ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಇಟ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ಇಷ್ಟಕ್ಕಾದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಆತರ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆದ್ರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಶಂಕರ್ ಅವರೇ, ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಅದು ನೀಟಾಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಇದನ್ನೇನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ನಾವ್ ಹೇಳೋದೇನಂದ್ರೆ, ಇದು ಯಾವ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ತರ ವಿ ಶೇಪ್ ರಿಕವರ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಇಲ್ದೋದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಓಕೆ. ಇದು ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇದು ತಪ್ಪು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೇಗ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ, ಟೀಮ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ವಿ ಶೇಪ್ ರಿಕವರ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೇಗ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ರೇನಾದ್ರೂ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ ಬಿಡಿ ಆದಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ. ಉಳಿದಿರೋ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗೇ ಇದೆ. ಅದು ಯಾವುದು ಬೇಗ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇದು ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೇಗ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಹುದು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಗ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬಂದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ.
ಈಗ ಅದು ಒಂದಿರ್ಲಿ, V2, V3, V4 ಅದು ಒಂದಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಳ್ಳೇದಲ್ವಾ?
ಸೊ ಇದು ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಪ್ಯೂರ್ಲಿ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ನೋಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಇದು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದು ನೋಡಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ಆದ್ರೂ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇದು ವಿ ಶೇಪ್ ರಿಕವರ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬೇಗ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದನ್ನ ಅವ್ರು ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಆದಷ್ಟು ಬೇಗ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ
ಸಾಕಾಗತ್ತೆ.
ವಿನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಇಂದ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ಈ ವಾರ ಇದರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ. ಈಗ 1200, 1300 ಇಯರ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆದ್ರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ ರೇಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡೋ ತರ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ಸರ್.
ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್, ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ, ಖಂಡಿತ ಟೀಮ್ಗೂ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ.
ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. 1000% ಹೆವಿ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು ಬಿಡಿ ಅದು. ಕಲ್ಪನೆಗೆ ಮಿಲ್ಕ್ ಒಳಗಡೆನೂ ಬರಲಿ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ನೀವು ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸಲ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗೆಲ್ಲ 500%, 200%, 100%, ಒಂದ್ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಡಬಲ್ ಆಗೋಂಥದ್ದು ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ, ಒಂದ್
ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಇದು ಯಾವ್ದು ತಿಂಗಳಿಗೆ ಈ ತರ ತಗೊಳಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಇವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ಬರೀ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ.
ಅದೇ ಈಗ ನಂಗೆ ಅದೊಂದು ಕ್ಲಾರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ನೀವು V3 ಮತ್ತೆ V2 ಇದಕ್ಕೆ.
1.3 ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ 1.3 ನೇ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್. 1.2 ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್ ಪೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1.3 ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ಗೋ ವೆಬ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1.3 ಅಂತ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸೇವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. 1.3 ನೇ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕಿರೋ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. 1.3 ನೇ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ.
ಹೌದು, ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆದ್ರೂ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅದು.
ಇದು ನೋಡಿ, ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕಿರೋ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ನೀವು 1.2 ಹೋಗಿ ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕಿರೋ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1.3 ದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದೇ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು.
ಸೊ 1 or 2 ಲಾಟ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ವಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ?
ಆದಷ್ಟು ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳೋದು ಲಾಟ್ಸ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿನೇ ಮಾಡಿ, ಆದಷ್ಟು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಲಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ. ಇವೆಂಚುಲಿ ಇದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದು ವಾರ್ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆದಾಗ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ನಮ್ದು ಸ್ಟೇಬಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾಟ್ಸ್. ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಡ, ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಹಂಗಿದೆ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್.
ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಶಂಕರ್ ಅವರೇ. ಓಕೆ, ಗ್ರೇಟ್. ಸೊ ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್? 1.2 बैंक के लिए 1.3 प्रिया जी 1.2 ITM 2 सही है 1.3 में. ओके, सबसे पहले तो मेरे हिसाब से अगर आप 1.3 देखेंगे ना वर्शन आल्गो पेज में, आपको पता है कि आप वेबसाइट में जाएंगे, आल्गो पे क्लिक करेंगे, यहाँ पर मोमेंटम बाय दिखेगा, यहाँ पर 1.3 सेलेक्ट कर लीजिएगा. 1.3 बेहतर है. यहाँ पे ड्रॉडाउन आपको दिख रहा है क्योंकि हम बहुत सारे ट्रेड इग्नोर कर चुके हैं, इसीलिए बेहतर है. और कुछ अलग नहीं है इसके अंदर. मुझे 1.2 ही है, लेकिन मार्च में बहुत सारे ट्रेड हमने 1.3 में इग्नोर कर दिया, इसलिए थोड़ा बेहतर है. 1.3 में स्पेशली हमें ITM 2 बेहतर लगा ITM 3 से. कर्व के हिसाब से देखिए, कर्व अगर दोनों का कर्व देखेंगे तो ये थोड़ा बेहतर लगा है हमको कंपेयर टू ITM 4 से. अगर आपको ITM 2 सेलेक्ट करना है तो आपको वेबबुक के लिए सबसे पहले तो आपको प्रोफाइल में जाना पड़ेगा, आल्गो वेबबुक में. यहाँ पर आपने अपना वेबबुक कॉन्फ़िगर किया है ना, तो वहां पर 1.3 सेलेक्ट कर लीजिएगा. जैसे 1.3 करेंगे ये ऑन हो जाएगा. यहाँ पर ITM 2 सेलेक्ट करके यहाँ पर सेव कर लीजिएगा बस. ठीक है, तो अपने आप वो 1.3 ले लेगा वहां से. हाँ, प्लीज 1.3 पे रहिए. फिलहाल तो 1.3 पे ही रहिए. मैं आपको स्ट्रांगली रिकमेंड करूंगा, चाहे भले ही कोई अच्छे ट्रेड्स मिस ही क्यों ना हो जाए, फिलहाल 1.3 पे रहिए. थोड़ा मार्केट स्टेबलाइज हो जाए तो उसके बाद में आप चाहे तो 1.2 पे वापस जा सकते हैं, लेकिन अभी तो 1.3 पे ही रहिए. भले ही कोई ट्रेड ना ही हो तो भी 1.3 पे रहिए. होप आपको समझ में आ गया होगा. प्रिया जी, ये कॉल रिकॉर्ड भी हो रहा है, आपको दोबारा अगर ये देखना है तो आप यूट्यूब में देख सकते हैं जैसे वीडियो अपलोड हो जाएगा. Abhinav, I think we spoke. I think that's all. Any other questions?
Sir, you said like you are working on that for momentum buy, same sell kind of sensing as early as possible morning.
Those days, correct.
Yeah, you are working on that.
Yeah, this is a problem for momentum buy. Even 1.2, if I take 1.2 also, the problem is 11th March. Now this hurts. This really hurts. If you could have captured that day. In fact, if you see momentum buy, right, one-sided momentum, many days we have missed. Many days the strategy has missed. We are trying to see how we can, include it, or how the strategy can learn to pick up these days. If we can, we will definitely, as soon as possible, we will release it. Right now, if we are trying to fix this, it is, messing up with other days. And because of that, we do not want to, immediately change it. But this is definitely on the on the cards for the team to see if we can somehow capitalize on these days a little better.
Okay. Okay.
This
And
is
one
the
more,
fundamental buy. Yeah.
yeah, one more question, sir. You said Sensex, you are working on Sensex buying.
Correct.
So will that be separate subscription or part of this momentum buy?
For the 3 months subscription, we are including that. At least for the first month, we are completely including that. Sensex is, yeah, 1 month Sensex is included. I think 1st February, 1st April will definitely be live. Even if it doesn't happen live, we'll consider 1 month from there, and we'll add the subscription for whoever is taking the 3 month subscription.
Okay.
Can we
Okay.
have a 1 week trial like we had for Nifty? I don't know. I'll talk to the team and I'll ask them if somebody needs a 1 week trial. Maybe we will try to do that as well. Maybe we will do 1 week trial. I don't know. I'll check with the team. But at this moment, we are offering this in the 3 months plan. We are offering 1 month of Sensex also.
Okay.
Done. Any other questions?
Good evening, sir.
हाँ प्रिया जी, आपका आवाज अभी सुनाई दे रहा है, बोलिए.
Sir, we will get video of this or not?
You
This
will get the
recording.
video. ये वीडियो में ये आपको YouTube में अपलोड हो जाएगा और उसका लिंक आपको
Yes, sir.
उसका लिंक आपको टेलीग्राम में भी मिलेगा और डिस्कॉर्ड में भी मिलेगा.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Done. Any questions? We had some long conversations with a couple of you. In case if you have further questions, happy to continue our conversation. Or if there is somebody else, किसी के कोई और सवाल है? ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿ, ಕನ್ನಡದವರು ಯಾರೇ ಇದ್ರು. Okay, great. Done. I am assuming there are no more questions. We will try to do one more call. If not this week, sometime next week, if possible. In the meanwhile, if you have any questions, if you have major issues like capital, for example, like VK said, please message us on WhatsApp. Ask us how we can scale it down because you have taken a big hit. If nothing, we will always try to figure out if we can help you out in some way. And 10 lots, it is a massive capital that you have deployed, VK. We will try to do something. In anyone like that, if you have any requests, please send us on WhatsApp and we will see if our team can do some research and can help you out. Okay. We are always there to see in what way we can help our subscribers. We have done that in the past and will continue to do it. अजय भाई, कोई सवाल है आपका?
हाँ सर, शुरू में आपने बताया था कि दूसरा मैं बाद में बताऊंगा, तो कुछ बताने वाले थे ना, प्राइस के बारे में था क्या?
हाँ, प्राइस के बारे में ही था. 3 मंथ का प्लान हमने रिलीज किया है जिसके अंदर सेंसेक्स का 1 मंथ का फ्री एक्सेस हमने इंक्लूड किया है. तो वो चीज हमको बताना था, बस और कुछ नहीं.
ओके ओके.
सुनील.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi Sunil. Yes.
Yeah. Sir, actually, I have read in Discord like you're working on some kind of weed pattern kind of thing, no, sir? What is that actually?
Oh, that was this. If you go to, I think I've just now explained. So if you go to Algo, entry analyzer. So what happened is, see this one, right? Our entries are actually pretty good. I don't think we have any problems. We are very happy with how the strategy is able to identify buy and sell pressures. The problem is when the recovery is V-shaped. That means reversal is happening in the V-shape. It is not exiting quickly. It is taking time to exit, and because of that, a massive profit is converted to a loss. It is this that we want to arrest. The team is looking into the current research is for this. They are not trying to improve this. This is okay. This is accepted. No problem. But when we had a genuine momentum in the direction, almost 100 points, we came back 100 points and we exited almost at the same price, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So
it could be kind of improvement actually.
This is something that they are trying to address.
Sure.
That is the V-shaped reversals. Yeah.
Sir, actually, I guess I was a conservative trader, sir. I was not more into taking risk and all. So as a conservative trader, like taking option selling is good, or how it is, sir? Like going with the buying is fine. Yeah, any suggestion or something? Yeah.
It always option selling. Always
Okay.
option selling. I don't think anybody in the right mind can ever say option buying, because option buying is known to have extreme, volatility in terms of capital. However good you are, even if you are extremely good, you will hit 50%, 60% of your drawdown. Doesn't matter how good you are. Ask
Yeah.
anybody who is buying options, they will have hit 50, 60% of drawdowns in their life, sometimes 100%. That
Oh,
is, it cannot be avoided, how irrespective of how good the algo is, or how good the
yes.
strategy is. So the safest is go for option selling. However,
Okay.
even in option
Mm,
selling, let me also tell you, even in option selling, March
mm,
month we have hit a lot of drawdown. This is very bad.
yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. We are trying to see if we can improve. 1.3 is a little better. The curve is definitely a little better. It is at least flat. Again, we are assuming if the situation improves, it will recover, but this is still better than the buy, the amount of drawdown that is hit.
Mhm. Yeah.
If we can
Uh,
hedge, nothing like it. Somehow take less capital for buy. Anyways, sell will require higher capital. If we can hedge it, maybe
mhm.
better. But then hedging it with just the Nifty buy and sell does not make any sense. If you ask me personally, I don't think it
Yes.
makes any sense. So maybe Sensex you can hedge. I don't know. So that is something, but least number of lots for buy, because buy anyways per capital the return is much better in buy if it performs, whenever it performs. Obviously drawdown is higher, but per capital the return is much better on buy compared to sell.
Sir, when you mean go with option selling, you mean naked option selling, or you had one more thing also, no? Spread
Spreads are
in
there.
the
We have
variant.
spreads also. Correct. Depending on the capital, you can either go for naked or you can go for spreads.
Okay.
Spreads,
Oh,
I think, like Abhinav said, ATM, I think naked option was also better. Even spreads are also better at ATM, near ATM at least. So if you look at
okay.
1 month gross, even the naked, I think, has done well in the month of March for 1.3. Was it ATM? No, this was ITM4, I think. Correct. If I select ATM, yeah, this is still better because in fact it has ignored a lot of trades because of the entry price cap, nothing else.
Okay, you mean naked option selling with ATM, sir?
With ATM is slightly lesser,
Ah,
capital volatility is slightly, you can see the curve, right?
correct,
Look at
correct,
the curve. So that I think
correct.
should give you much better confidence. Yeah.
Okay.
Return is
So,
obviously lesser,
yeah,
over 14 months, 14, 15 months, I don't know. But
sir,
then the curve is better. Yeah.
sir, I want to understand, like for option buying for one
Mhm.
from 1.2 to 1.3, you have made some change which is DTE based. Correct, sir. Only that particular change you have made in momentum buy. Uh, but you took
Correct.
some
The
time
entry
for
price
the
caps.
momentum
Correct.
sell for 1.3. The same change that has been done, or any extra logic or something you have applied for this, sir, other than DTE change for
Two
1.3 of
changes.
momentum sell.
Yeah, two changes. One is the entry price caps are
Correct.
added. Second
Uh,
thing is now the 1.3 is able to capture the one-sided momentum days.
uh,
This
okay.
11th March, we were
Mhm.
not able to capture the entire day earlier. Now it is able to capture the entire day.
Okay. Okay. You said like in buying, you're seeing this one,
We were
right?
not able to do
In
this. Yeah. In buy, we are still
correct,
not
correct.
able to do this. Yeah.
But selling somehow it has
Now
been
it is
working.
correct.
Sure,
Correct.
sure. Understood. Understood. Thank you, sir.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Patel, one question. Is it possible to segregate in the 1 monthly gross, segregate the back tested results from the live results now that the strategy has been live for some time?
And why do you, what is the reason, if I may understand?
Because sometimes if you see continuous months of positive, it kind of gives the impression that it has been positive. Somebody who's kind of, so we want to see both the live results as well as the back tested results.
Yeah. So there's no difference, right? I mean, the reason I'm asking is, yeah, we can probably mention this was live, 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 live. But then if we had traded live, for example, November month or October month, it would have obviously generated that kind of trades, let's say, for that month. There's absolutely no difference between how it is doing live versus how it is doing backtest. I'll give you one more example. So when you see entry analyzer, right? Now, for example, if I look at 20th, the entries and the P&L generated is exactly like we do it in backtest. This is not looking live data. So for example, in Telegram, we are saying 910 or let's say 121 or 150, right? This is what we are getting in Telegram. But at the end of the day, when it comes to this data, it completely ignores what Telegram is saying. It does backtesting because end of the day we have data at 3:30. It does backtesting, and based on the backtesting, it adds the result here. It doesn't even look into what has happened in live. The reason this was a conscious decision, and the reason was if we ever deviate from backtesting, we will be able to analyze it, and somebody will at least flag us and say that, hey, your Telegram versus entry analyzer are not matching. You understand? But that is not the case. We have never had a situation where the Telegram versus entry analyzer has not matched. They will always match.
Matching.
Then in that case, whether we do it live or whether we do it backtest, it will not make any difference, right? Because it would have anyways happened that way in that month.
I mean, generally people have the impression that strategies work in the backtest, but once they go live, they kind of stop working. So I thought maybe it will be a good idea to segregate.
That is for different reasons. You have seen, Abhinav, yourself, February second half, what has happened, you have seen. March, I think first few days also, I think it did well. I think first few days it did well. And this is all in front of us, right? We have all seen it, how it performs in live and all that. Moreover, like I said, the entry analyzer data or whatever statistics you are seeing, this is all backtested. This is not live. It is added as a backtested data itself, but it will match with live.
Okay. If you say that it matches exactly with live, then that's a separate.
Yeah, if it ever doesn't match, please flag it to us because we want to be the first to know. Even if it is a 1 minute variation here and there, we want to know. But it will not happen. We have seen it ourselves that it will match 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. So there are a couple of issues that will happen. I'm sorry. 1 second. I'll just finish with Abhinav one more minute. There are a couple of things that will happen. One, it should fire at the exact candle. For example, if you're saying 12:20, it should fire at 12:21. And it should fire within 1 second. Otherwise, slippages, etc., those things will come into picture. Slippages are not a big deal for us because I'm saying next 10 minutes, if you enter also, you will have a fair advantage. And those are the reasons why live versus backtesting could have certain differences. But in our case, we know that every single API is called in the 0th minute for every single person. We recently checked the database log. For every user, it is calling at the 0th second itself. So even from that point of view, I don't think it will make a difference. Yeah, sorry, somebody was asking a question.
Yes, sir. Sir, you're trying with these third-party vendors for making the algo, right? Like this Algo, Mojo, Algo Text, and of all these days, which one you saw it's working better, sir?
I don't know if I can give you a convincing answer, Sunil. Some people say Algo Mojo is doing well. For some people, Quantum that is doing well. Algo Test, I think somebody said is doing well as well.
Because at the end of the day, we'll be relying on that platform only, right? How much we are pushing the APIs, triggering their endpoints actually.
Correct.
But no, sir.
See,
Those should perform well.
Quantman seem to have a right way of adding stop losses.
Okay.
Whereas Algo Mojo, it's not adding stop losses in the broker's account. It is, calculating by itself. That is one issue where I think we have seen. But otherwise, yeah, all platforms are essential. If SL is not hit, SL doesn't hit. In our platform, SLs hit very rare. Although, there was a week when we had SLs hit, I think 3, 4, 5 times. I think in the month of April itself. Beyond that, rarely SLs hit because the strategy itself takes care of exits pretty quickly.
Correct, sir. Correct.
So,
Sir, and one more genuine doubt is like, sir, this particular website or this particular development, you have done this much rigorously, no, sir. The Talgo Mojo, making the Talgo Mojo website and all is somewhat easy for you right now, sir. Why you are stepping into that or something? At least for, yeah.
it is
I was just saying Algo Mojo is charging us 1K extra, right?
correct.
Maybe we can pay that in your thing only now. If you can look into that thing or any problems are there, like developing one or something.
It's not a technical issue, Sunil. It is more a legal issue. We are
Okay.
legality of this is where we are
Oh,
kind of stuck. Because if you provide an
okay.
end-to-end algo, we will have to register as an algo with the exchange and also with the brokers. I think there are more than that, beyond that, beyond my pay grade. So the legal teams have suggested to go the trading view approach of simply having a strategy and alerts, etc. But we are working on it. At some point, I think we will want to. We want to absorb the cost of these bridges instead of adding the cost. We would definitely want to, because that gives us a lot of flexibility. If you ask me, like Ajay was
Correct, sir.
asking, right? We can price it based on number of lots, etc. Gives a lot of flexibility.
Correct, sir. Correct.
We can scale
Yeah.
down automatically, we can scale up automatically. Oh, it gives us so much flexibility. But unfortunately, we can't do it at this moment. The team is working on approvals, etc.
Okay, sir.
Hoping that we will have
Understood.
at least in the next 2-3 months.
Yeah, it's not about technicality, it's about
It's
the
not
legal.
technically, it is
Yeah.
very easy, believe me. Yeah, it is very easy.
Okay. Yeah, sure, sir. Right.
Awesome. All right, I think we have come to the end of the session.